Okay, welcome to Great Southern Footy Fanatics, and I'm very fortunate today to have Ryan Bridges, President of the Northpoint Football Club, with us. Doing a bit rough at the minute, mate, the Magpies.
We are battling. We're going right in the junior grades, but the senior grades are struggling along, so yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, it's like every club goes through it, but we might as well cross straight to your game actually, because I reckon you've got one of the matches of the round. Everyone say, oh, what are you talking about, matches around? The Shankarilla are playing good, probably. Both teams have not won a game yet this season, but there's still some huge talent on both sides, and this is going to be an absolute ripper of a game. If you want to see a real good close contest in the match, get along and watch this one, so it should be a beauty. So how are you gearing up for it?
Yeah, well, we've got lots of senior players out, and we'll be hoping to get a few back in this week. The most impressive part about our side at the moment is the youngsters. Jade Cooper, Costa DeConning, Jesse Bates, Oscar McCann, all these guys that are 18, nearly 19 who are playing some really good football. So our young group are really having a crack. A couple of the older boys, Dan Fry, you know what to expect from him every week. He's got a newborn and he's had COVID about 3 times, and he's got a bad knee, but he's back, so he's providing plenty. So our guys will have a crack, and it's nice to be at home. And I think the winner of this one probably avoids the not wanted wooden spoon, don't they?
No, they don't. But you missed a couple of very important players. I really like the way Dean McKinlay has really led from the front. Dean's been, a fantastic toiler for the Magpies for quite a number of years and very highly respected. And then you go down to the other end of the ledger, a young man who's really been outstanding has been Charlie Stewart. He must have had the tough jobs in defence, I would have thought.
Yeah, Charlie, he was one that I did forget to mention. He's another one of those youngsters who's up and coming, and he has big jobs on big key forwards, but he was pretty good last week against Wollonga in the one-on-ones. He certainly held his own. Just the sheer weight of supply meant that the dam wall eventually broke, but he had a really good game of footy. He's a rangy defender and a good lad too.
Okay, well I think also just from the Tigers perspective, McConnell's playing very well, Jesse Fitzgerald as well, and also Matty James. He's always been one of my favourites. Matt James, coached him as a youngster coming through the grades, and Matt James is certainly doing all right holding key position with Joel Kay, who's been there for a number of years, and young Billy Hogman, who's going terrifically well. So you'll obviously tip the Magpies.
It'll be a close game, and plenty of good youngsters, but I'll tip us by under 2 goals.
Yep, all right. Well, I'll go for the Tigers just so the ledgers sort of very even. And look, this is going to be a big game. I reckon I might even pop along to say hello and just sort of see how that's going. The next big clash is certainly going to be a good one. It's Wollonga and Maiponga Select. This is going to be a huge battle. The Mudlarks have been the Cinderella team of the competition, and boy, are they taking everything before them.
Oh, they are. They're the Cinderella club of the competition. All 4 grades wedged into the top 5 at the moment, something that wouldn't be all that common out at Maiponga, and massive credit to the Mudlarks. They've developed from the bottom up with their junior program over the last 5 or 6 years, and right now they've got a really good A-grade football side with a bit of star factor as well, with the likes of Armat Watkins and Kennedy, and there's a real string of superstars in that side.
Chalmers, Proud, they've just recruited smartly to complement their young group. Ben Kennedy is one Kennedy you mentioned. He kicked 4 goals and he's given them something up forward. And you know what it's like as well. Like when you're down low on the ladder, you get enough forward entries, but the damn thing keeps coming back out. And the Mudlarks have suffered from that for probably the last 15 years. And now all of a sudden with Armat Watkins and Ben Kennedy, they're starting to get some conversions there. So this is going to be a ripper of a game. The Demons are just doing what they do, don't they? They just take sides apart, and they can all do it in about 20 minutes of footy. So this is going to be an exciting game. Cam Hutchins is probably my early pick for male medal. You saw him first hand last week.
He's amazing. Wearing the number 24, which his coach wore for a lot of years, and he's got a bit of talk about him. He's very good over the football. He's very smooth mover. He uses the ball well. He was outstanding against us. I'm not sure if Wollonga do any possession counts, but it would have been 40 plus without a drama. Wollonga, really good size with Bass, Haskett, Stanfield and Hunt, and they're well drilled, and they look a good side. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be with Fenton. He looks like he's got a serious knee injury in that. I hope not, but it was pretty sad on Saturday to see a guy go down off a pretty innocuous sort of direction change. So hopefully Brian's knee's okay. If it's not, he's getting to that sort of age where it might spell the end. He's been quite an injury-prone player, but one of the better ones that's played country footy. But a very, very well-drilled side, Wollonga, and they look like they'll be in the mix again.
Yeah, you mentioned Fenton, like his grand final last year was absolutely brilliant. He played a ripper of a game, and also there's Meagle and Logan who are also playing good footy for the Demons. So who's your tip?
Well, I'm going to go for Wollonga. No disrespect to Mike Bonga, they're playing some great footy, but I think Wollonga might just be a little bit too good on the day.
Well, I'm going for Mike Bonga Celtics. I think the Cinderella tale is just going to continue, and they're going to roll along. And I think it's just exciting for football to see a team come from outside the five. I think we all do get a bit tired. We see the same teams competing all the time, and it's just beautiful to see the mudlarks up around the place, and it certainly adds a lot more colour and another dimension to our competition. Next game is going to be McLaren and Langhorne Creek. Now, this will be a beauty, because do you actually start, what stage of the season do you start to draw a line through a team?
Pretty hard to draw a line through. You don't draw a line through Langhorne Creek until June 30, because they will be doing something behind the scenes there, and who knows, Tony Modger or someone like that could come out this week, and you just don't know, do you? But there's no doubt that the Langhorne Creek side, that they're well documented with their injuries and their COVID situation, so they have battled. But they've still got a lot of premiership players on that side, and if they click, they're going to be pretty dangerous for the remaining sort of 13 games.
Yeah, you've got to respect Langhorne Creek for what they are and what they've achieved over the last, the early 2000s. They've just been a dominating team. For 25 years, they've just been around the mark, and this is a ground they haven't been on for quite a while. So, but I do like what's going on there. Darcy Clifford has certainly held the defence together. He's going really well, and Dave Warren is playing good footy. You've got Matt Tonkin, and you've got the two Dominish boys, and Josh Cow are going well for the Hawks. They just need a few more to chip in. Like you say, the star power is missing at the minute, and you never know who's going to pop up this coming week for them. But you can't go past McLaren. McLaren are playing premiership winning footy. Do you go too early will be the big discussion. I don't think Gianni's worrying about that. Good form, you just want to keep doing it week in, week out.
Yeah, well, McLaren, you'd roll them into about $1.80 for the flag right at this point in time. They're at full tilt. They're very few injuries. They're looking good. We had a forfeit at B grade 2 weeks ago against them, and they managed to play a 15 versus 15 internal trial match in the reserve. So when you've got 30 players that are able to play an internal trial, and then your A grade comes out and kicks a bag of goals, you're in pretty good shape. But for McLaren, I think there's a couple of lesser lights that really help their side. Sam Laurie, for example.
Yep.
He's a real developing ruckman, and what he allows their side to do is put guys like Cody Allison into forward positions, back positions, out the wing. So guys like Sam Laurie are very important, but just stars throughout every line. Male medalists and guys that have played at NFL footy, just a really, really well drilled side. Yeah, you talk about Brown, you talk about McKay, you talk about Brett Ellis, who's won the last 2 male medals, just a good footballer, and then you've got Merritt down forward, who's just consistently kicking goals. And they're just going very well at the moment, and certainly are premiership favourites at this early stage of the season. I'm going for McLaren. Yeah, I'll have to go for McLaren in that one too. Righto, let's go to another big game. They're just everywhere. Encounter Bay are playing Strathalbyn. Now, Strathalbyn sort of been a bit of a hit and miss. One week they perform very well, and the next week they tend to fall over, but this will be a cracker. Well, it will be. We played Strath first round, and I thought they were a very well balanced footy side. A lot of experience with the guys like Elliott and Tucker and these types of blokes that have been around for a while. A lot of speed, the power forwards of Clamp and Simmons. They looked really good against us in round 1, but they really need to be at full tilt. They don't back very deep through their B grade. I think they need Redden and Pegler and those sort of guys back to control this Encounter Bay forward line. And Clark doesn't appear to have come back from injury. He got injured in that Anzac Day match, and when you lose your number 1 ruckman, it's probably a bit of a juggle for Strath. So a very, very good side at full tilt, but whether or not they can get everybody in the park at the right time is the question. Yeah, Godfrey Edwards, Riley Clamp is having a very good season, and you've got Jacob Wright as well. So they've got some really good developing young footballers there that are sort of starting to come up with their getting around between the 50 and 100 games of A grade, so they're going to go okay. But Encounter Bay in the meantime, they've just got something. Nick Marshall has gone to another level. With Tarker and Davis Neal in the forward line. It's hard enough to try and juggle them in the air, but all 3 of them are very good on the ground as well. So they are terrific, and they're one team that gets the most of its forward injuries. They're a good looking side on paper. I really thought in the early days, I thought Nick Marshall was going to be a flash in the pan. I thought young kid wasn't getting a lot of attention from defenders, but year in, year out, game in, game out, he just keeps kicking goals. Great to have players like Marcus Lippert back. Very close to signing at Hamley Bridge Bombers, Marcus, but Bays would be happy to have him back. And they look like a good side on paper, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Fraser Tonkin, again, he's playing really well. And then you've got, on top of that, Mitch Davis decided to put in a big game too. So, you know, the Bays are just getting contributors all around the ground, and Scotty Windermore must be loving that. Who's your tip for this one?
Bays will win this one. They'll go pretty deep in finals, I would have thought, and they'll beat Stratham on the weekend.
Yeah, can't argue. I think in Canterbury, I think that's the one we're going to agree with. And then we've got the other big game, which is Mount Compass and Victor Harbour. Both sides are sort of winning their share of games. Victor are in the 5, which is an area they haven't been in too much before, but this will be a really good game. Jesse McKinnon's holding it together in the middle. Basham and Elms are going very well up forward. And then you've got young Mitchell Brook, who's holding the defence together in the back half of Victor and providing a lot of the runners plenty of footy. So, you know, how have you found Mount Compass this season?
Seen both of those sides. Mount Compass obviously clearly suffering with the loss of Hoban. He's over fishing for whiting on KI and playing out in the western end of the island, so he's a big loss for them, and they have lost a couple of other stars. But if you were starting a football side and you had Pinion, Vacunas and Hunter as your first 3 on your footy side, you'd be pretty happy with those 3. So still plenty of star factor there. Probably just need some of those guys that have played roles in the last 3 or 4 years to step up to the next level. But still a very good football side and a dangerous footy side too. Yeah,
absolutely. I think one of those role players has been Klaus Simons. He's been a real good football player association last year, and he's one that goes really well. Tom Vacunas, he's not in his brother's shadow anymore. He wins his own ball and he's a beautiful provider of the ball. This will be a good game. Who's your pick?
Tough one. It's good to see the likes of Twining and Dowling not having to cop the hidings they were last year. They stuck fat last year and they're now reaping some rewards. Victor, a great young side, a lot of speed. I just feel that the likes of Pinion, if they can get him forward enough and not have to play him in the ruck all that much, I think Compass might just get over the line in this one, but this will be a cracker.
Yeah, well, I think Victor at home should win this one, and it's going to be a really good round. We just discussed 5 games, and I'll tell you,
do we agree? What do we agree on?
We agreed Canterbury and Stratham. It's about the only one we agreed on. Which our Great Southern Football League secretary wasn't too happy with that one. He thought one of us should have gone for the Roosters at least, seeing to Strathallan, but I don't think he's too fussed. Look, that sums up another great round of Great Southern footy. We're at Northpoint Fleurieu. We thank them for all their support. Amanda and Tu Clark, they certainly do things here. And also, we've got a new paper that's going to be launched tomorrow. It's called the Fleurieu Sun. Please get along. We've got 18 pages of sport, 18 pages of news. The Fleurieu Peninsula's never seen anything like it. So please get a copy of that paper. I know you'll love it.
Any real estate?
Yes, there is some real estate. It's about time everyone's jumped on board, which will be terrific. But also, just on another note, I just want to congratulate Pauline Edwards. She had retired. She's, the last 15 years she's been, they played in 15 A-grade grand finals and won 10 of them. And I think we take that, but she's still pretty angry about the 5 she lost. And then on top of that, she's been involved for 40 years in our competition. Had 3 years at the Thunderbirds. Well, down at the Victor Harbour Netball Club last week, they named the #1 court the Pauline Edwards Court. We just want to congratulate Pauline on that. So absolutely brilliant. And also there was a 50th reunion. There was a couple of your old mates there, from like Wayne Johnson, who coached the 1972 Victor Harbour Premiership team, won the Male medal that year, and of course Charlie Kleinick, who went on to play at Galway. Both those 2 individuals were there. We had a fantastic group, and that was a really good day. So that was tremendous down there by the club. So it's a big day down here in Victor Harbour. I'm sure there's going to be big days at all the other clubs in our region, and just wish everyone the best. Get your copy of the Fleurieu Sun, and we'll see you at the footy. Thanks for joining me, Ron.
All right, mate.
Thanks, mate. It's amazing. Through